Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, you know, this ain't no Pacific rant, but we're going to talk about, you know, now, me calling this a Flighteist, right? It really shouldn't even have no name behind it. So, you know, you should be careful what you're attaching names to. So, I make a disclaimer right now. Even me calling myself Uriel, right? The energy sources that goes back to the date of where Uriel, the name, was created, whatever like that, that's irrelevant. The energy and the power source that is carrying was here and proceeded way before the time of the dated of the name Uriel here. So it's really just an energy source, empowerment concept, angel, that been here many different times. And in this civilization, it's Dolo the pilot man, me, flight boss. I'm the embodiment of that energy now. So even though I might call myself Uriel, it really hold no ties to that. I'm the embodiment of that energy now. You see what I'm saying? So as an angel, when we come here on earth, this is how we look at all religious and spiritual systems and things of that nature. So yeah, you Kemet motherfuckers, you Hebrew Israelites, Islams, none of you motherfuckers is safe. You see what I'm saying? But we know this is coming from Archangel Uriel right now, aka the flight boss. So you know, I'm Dolo the vampire slayer. So we know we getting the highest knowledge. We getting the medicule of shit. So I'm not just about to decipher your religion. I'm about to decipher the mechanisms of why things is the way they are in the first place. And why it don't matter what civilization you tie yourself to based upon how far back it's dated. You see what I'm saying? I need you to understand a few things throughout this video. Now, first of all, as an angel coming onto earth and looking at this shit, here's how we already look at things. Anytime, now, we know everything is frequency, vibration, and energy. So when we want to talk about your spirit, that's in the frequent realm. Your soul is in the vibration realm. Your body is in the energy realm. You can go to my previous videos if you want to hear that broke down. Now, as far as your spirit, right? Now, any ideas, any lights, frequencies, information you receive, right? AKA keyword receive. That's external. That's outside of you. Keep that in mind. That's outside of you. Everything you know how to do naturally, that you just naturally already do, you already can do it, that's internal. Things that you just already know, you already got the sense of and things of that nature, that's internal, right? That's internal, right? Now, here's the issue. We got a civilization, right, who like to take what they already know how to do internally, right, see representations of that externally, right? And anytime you give attention to what you could do internally to something externally, as at that being a soul-based representation of what you think that's why you can do what you can do, then you are a being that needs a spiritual crutch, or you have a spiritual crutch. So just think about that right there in general. Anytime you learn something outside of you, that's coming from external, so you don't know where that's coming from. Anytime it's something you naturally could do, you know it's from you. That's internal, right? Anytime you try to compare or contrast or conflate or try to blend in what you can already do with something that's a representation of something external, then you are a person that you just in the vessel start to manifest mechanisms in the psyche of the human vessel. You manifest situations where you are in need of a spiritual crutch. So when you start to figure, so it plays out. Now, before you even get into a religion or any spirituality, it start to play out like this. You start to realize you can do things, right? But then you start to learn information about things that was done similar, right? And what happens is you start to give your energy, aka you start to pay attention, give all your insight, your spiritual energy to that information. And the more and more you dive your light into that light, you absorb yourself with that energy. Now, what is light? If light is information, sounds, brought into density, right? Then basically these are deities that vibrate with a certain line of events, which is the frequency, right? So, the higher up you know, the less dense it gets. So, it doesn't matter what religion or what you're paying attention to. You got atheists who may love money. Their spiritual roof or spiritual God is under that energy. And that energy got so many realms of realities over that's ran by beings and things of that nature. So, see, look, we get into the basic mechanisms before we even get to any of y'all niggas fuck niggas theologies and shit. You see what I'm saying? So, it plays out in life as just you thinking that it's just natural to try to find or go back to realize something that you already can do. So what happens here is you can go draw a picture on a motherfucking wall, right? And somebody did that thousands of years ago. But since you think it's something more to it because of the story that's put behind it, then you feel like then you are reawakened. But this is what happens here. See, when you blend your light with that light, you are not reawakened. You know what's reawakened? The spirit, aka the light, aka the sound, aka the frequency, aka the shine. You are reawakening that. So if that light was part of a past light, then all you did was reawaken a light through your light. You just shining an old light into a new light. So before we get all the spooky shit out of your mind and all religions and spiritualities and all that out of your mind first, build on that. See what I'm saying? Build on that. Now, when you want to look at humanity and look at civilizations, what is the main thing they want to do? Progress. Move forward, right? Now, if it's just embedded in the human vessel psyche already, stagnant energy, then how you even going to have the idea to progress? If your basic psyche is to go towards past civilizations to understand what you could do in the present. And what makes past civilizations hard, quote unquote, or more acceptable is if the older it is, the more you think it's truth. But really, what's the main reason why you think humanity can't come together right now? Why you think this civilization right now, this age group, these planetary alignments that you came in as a generation right now, why you think y'all can't come together? Because you got too many beings trying to act like too many different civilizations. You see how deep this is going? Now, let's talk about Kemet. Let's talk about these motherfuckers, right? Let's talk about Christianity. Let's talk about Islam, right? When a motherfucker say something reawakened me, or I've been reawoken, or this knowledge taught me something, and then the moment they try to defend it or conflate it, they have an agenda. Anytime something has an agenda, it has human traits and human forms. You can't trust anything that has an agenda. You see what I'm saying? And if you are spiritually inclined enough, then you would know what terms and conditions to agree to, and what contracts to sign and what not to sign, and how to play ball on a spiritual battle. But see, you got niggas out here pushing spiritual consciousness and don't even know how to think about this shit because of the vessel that they're in. You see what I'm saying? You get Archangel, you getting the highest knowledge right now. This is the highest concepts due to date in this realm of reality. Now, I don't give a fuck how you look at it. Anytime you have to use a word which carries a vibration, which carries a sigil, a frequency is a line of events, which is words, letters, sounds, lights, vibrations, right? Then the vibrations, when you experience it, that you start to experience the line of events that come with that frequency, right? And a lot of these frequencies ain't high enough. I'm going to tell you that right now, not on my level. But just, however it takes for you on your spiritual path, that's you. Now, when we talk about when frequencies vibrate using the letters or something like that, then a lot of times humans in this civilization don't know how to understand that this is power that they already have. So when they give their energy and something that they already know how to do to something that was previous to them, then they reawaken that. So anybody screaming that Kemet, Ma'at shit, you are part of that civilization. But how can you progress if you're using past consciousness? See what I'm saying? And if you need past consciousness in order to understand the consciousness you're in now, that's a spiritual crutch. And this is why your civilization won't move forward. So you want to say, what you talking about? You ain't moving forward. Okay, look at the spiritual systems and the energies that you're giving to these motherfuckers, right? It's outdated. You know why? Because what do you have to do for a lot of your religions? Look at it, the Hebrew Israelites motherfuckers. These motherfuckers are on corners with long robes on, preaching shit, trying to find new ways to get money on this land, doing this, that, and the third. You see what I'm saying? So that's the kind of consciousness and gods that you're trying to bring here now. Then you're wasting your own experience and time by those old spirits using you as a vessel. Because the more you preach their words, preach their vibrations, and act out those frequency vibrations in the physical, with the energy, with the body, the more and more that's you're them. So you awaken them. So a lot of them can't even have bodies now. So this is how they come through y'all to experience this civilization. So what's going on now is you got a lot of beings on Earth being used as vessels for old gods and old beings to experience this civilization. So they kicking they old knowledge and their old civilization now. And then they got to find themselves in situations where they have to argue with someone else's vessel, whatever spiritual being in them, utilizing them. And then you can tell which ones is more powerful than another, where which ones can access more of this light illusion we in than the others. And then once you tie down why that's more powerful, then you can start to pinpoint on a spiritual warfare why shit the way it is, and why each religion do the shit that they do. You see what I'm saying? Now, why the fuck do I need to be taught a prayer? That's something I already know how to do now. Why the fuck? I know how to draw a circle now. I know how to draw a cross. Why do I gotta look at an old civilization who they just came up with the same shit the way they knew how to do it? And why do I gotta give them the energy to express and learn how we do it now? When really the key to moving forward is being a civilization. Us coming up with our own way as one to come up with how we appear these things to be now. And trickle that down. That'll end up being one language, one vibration, one energy. A rapture. See what I'm saying? But y'all ain't getting me, right? Y'all fuck around and be like, oh, Kemet taught me all this shit, right? Christianity taught me all this shit, right? Islam taught me all this shit, right? Yeah, these old civilizations, these old guys experiencing this civilization through you. Laughing at you. You're wasting your own experience, not even knowing who you are. And then they got you thinking that you saying who you are. Look, when I say who you are, I'm talking to myself, right? So when you go around preaching, talking about this who I am, and you telling people this who you are, now you casting spells. Now you casting what you invested with to somebody else. Do you get it? See, look, as an angel, we not in none of that shit. We not in none of the mixes. So the only time you can argue with me about anything, you can't even do it because you don't have a surface. You don't have a surface. You still under spiritual roofs. And the highest spiritual roofs in this realm of reality is still low. Who y'all call God and shit like that, nigga, angels is more powerful than that shit here. Y'all concept of God is very low and humanistic. Vibrating really low. Anybody could come take over y'all shit now. Especially that y'all elevating now to like the 5th, 6th dimension. Man, any fucking spiritual being could come take over y'all shit. Because y'all motherfucking gods is so petty. You got a motherfucking regular ass fucking spirit that can jump through a vessel right now and have a certain amount of light that's way more powerful than y'all motherfucking God here. And y'all be fucking crying, looking on the internet. How this motherfucker so popular? Who the fuck is this nigga? What the fuck he talking about? What the fuck is that shit? Crying, still broke, still in y'all theology, still in y'all outdated shit, still being used as vessels by outdated gods and shit. Shit that don't even work in this realm of reality. You see what I'm saying? But y'all don't get it though. Y'all don't get it though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't get it. I don't think y'all get it. Flight boss bitch, goddamn air.